So, I finally watched the FNAF 2 movie, and right now I'm gonna give my quick, honest thoughts about it, but there will be huge spoilers, so if you haven't watched the movie yet, just go see it. Okay, right off the bat, I'm just gonna ignore all the fan reception, all, like, the score, the critic score, whatever, I'm just gonna ignore all of that. I'm here to say, right off the bat, this movie is incredible. I loved every second of this movie. It is so much better than the original. It's not even funny. Sadly, I don't have enough time to make a full review of the movie, so for now, I'm just gonna stick to saying my pros and cons of the movie. The first thing this movie gets right, in my opinion, is definitely the opening scene. Oh my god, the opening is so good. It genuinely sets the mood for the entire movie, and it's so well done. It's definitely one of the best parts of the movie for me. Just Charlie's backstory, how clear it is, how she died, the yellow rabbit being menacing and terrifying, the fact that it feels like a true horror film. It's awesome. Which brings me into my next point about the marionette's characterization in this movie, because genuinely, this is, like, I prefer this miles over how she's handled in the games. Seeing her as an actual villain, possess people, the way she moves, like, the puppet, just such a good character. Probably my absolute favorite character in this entire movie. The animatronics are once again in the spotlight. They all get their time to shine, some more than others, but I loved all of their scenes equally. And I know people are probably gonna hate me for this, but genuinely, the story up until the ending is genuinely very, very well written. I think the dynamic between Mike and Abby and Vanessa is handled really well. I think, like, it's just really well written, like, the Charlie's backstory and everything. I love it a lot. I love the story. And unlike the first movie, this movie is genuinely scary this time. There are a lot of scenes that are genuinely tense, and some of them feel like an actual horror film. The kills are definitely a lot more gruesome, too. And there's other miscellaneous stuff, like the YouTuber cameos being really nice. I really like how they brought back Corey X. Kenshin. Also, the Easter eggs. Oh my god, Circus Baby! Like, what? And Shadow Bonnie, too? And also the post-credit scene had Springtrap, like, oh my god. There's a lot of other stuff I adore about this movie, but sadly, being an honest FNAF fan, I have to address some criticisms. I just wish that this movie was just, like, at least 10 minutes longer, because there are so many things that could have benefited from extra time, which I'll get into right now. Pacing seems to be a recurring issue when it comes to these movies, because in the first movie it was slow-paced, but now the pacing's just all over the place. For the first half, it's fine, but in the second half, they just cram scene after scene after scene. And then, the ending just happens abruptly. Speaking of the ending, yeah, it's a bit all over the place too. I personally love it for how absurd it is, but yeah, I genuinely don't even know what happened here. I don't think I have enough time here to describe it, but wow, like, what the hell happened here? I think the ending is, like, the main reason why people don't like this movie. It just kind of falls apart. The classic animatronics come back, and then, like, they destroy the toys with ease, and then they say, yeah, we're gonna move on. You gotta take care of William Afton yourself. Yeah, bye. And then we didn't even get to see what the hell happened to Michael Afton. He's just got punched by Jeremiah, and then Mike and Abby leave with Jeremiah, and then when Vanessa comes over, Mike is like, no, you can't trust us. And while, like, his intentions, like, they're valid, his reasoning for doing that is valid, but the way he said it is just so out of character. And then what happens? Vanessa gets possessed, the movie ends. Yeah, it's just a jumbled mess of an ending, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not saying it's bad. I actually really, really love it. It's probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. It just gave me such a dumb smile on my face, but it's very flawed. I really hope Scott doesn't do that again. I just know he made that ending to set up FNAF 3, and sure, it's a decent setup, but as an ending, it's not, it's nowhere near as good as the ending of FNAF 1, because at least that ending was actually conclusive. It feels like an Across the Spider-Verse situation where it's like setting up the next sequel, and it just ends like that. Another problem resulted from the runtime of the movie being a bit short is the fact that the animatronics' screen time is just completely unbalanced. Toy Chica got the most screen time out of all of these characters, and that's probably because of, you know, she's voiced by Megan Fox, but still. And I love his scene, but you know what happened to Wither Bonnie? He got a vent slapped in his face, and it was gone. In fact, the Wizards showed up for one scene and never again. Going back to the ending where the classics appeared, couldn't Scott just find a way to, like, incorporate the Wizards to give them more screen time instead of relying on the the robots from the last movie, when you have like 10 new animatronics to deal with in a movie that's already kind of short. Also, where's Wither Golden Freddy, man? You got Circus Baby in this movie, but not Golden Freddy. That's a damn shame. The Golden Freddy kid is there. Why not Golden Freddy? And while I praised how scary this movie was, I just feel like this movie does rely on a lot of cheap jump scares for no reason. Like, there are so many cheap jump scares, it's kind of pathetic, I'm not even gonna lie. But aside from that and a few minor nitpicks, I just love this movie so much. I think the story is great up until the ending. I think the animatronics are great. They're pretty much the highlight of the movie. The puppet was done wonderfully. The characters, the human characters, main trio, their dynamic is awesome. I loved it. The cinematography and the score, I forgot to mention, they're just impressive, man. The soundtrack is awesome. And the cinematography, the way they're shot, it's impressive. Again, I love this movie. I love its comedic moments. The movie genuinely made me laugh a couple times. I love the Easter eggs. I love the post-credit scene. I just love so many things about this movie. The reason I'm even critiquing this movie at all is because I love it. I want to see if they fix the problems of this movie, and in the next movie, FNAF 3, if that ever happens, then yeah, we're so back. This movie is definitely not perfect, but hey, I still think this movie is genuinely incredible and some of the best experiences I've ever had in a theater. Blumhouse and Scott and Emma Tammy, they genuinely cooked this time. And I'm saying this with all my confidence. One final thing about the movie, though, I feel like the reason why people hate this movie so much, aside from the ending, is because a lot of things are different from the game. And, guys, I think you need to understand that this is a video game adaptation, which means it's not exactly one-to-one. It shouldn't be one-to-one. If a movie adaptation is just the same as the game, that's not gonna make it unique. And if it's so different from the game, then that's also a bad thing. So I think FNAF 2 actually kind of balances this a little. So, I recommend watching this movie. It's genuinely a very good movie. I know you might not like it for the same reasons as mine. You may not like it, you may hate it, I don't really care. Just form your own opinion, don't let anyone influence yours, it's completely fine. Also, just ignore Rotten Tomatoes completely. I'm saying, not necessarily, just ignore the audience score, because, those are the people who watch the movie, but just the critic score in general, even if it was positive, in a perfect world or something, just ignore it. Your opinion is what matters most. One more thing before I go. This movie adapts FNAF 2, obviously, and FNAF 2 is the first FNAF game I've ever played. It introduced me to this universe, my favorite video game franchise ever, and seeing an adaptation of it on the big screen so well executed like this, it's such an honor. Whether you think this movie is good or bad, you just gotta admit and appreciate how, this movie is just made for the fans. This movie is a love letter to FNAF fans as a whole. There's so many Easter eggs, there's references, and they adapt the original game in a nice, cool way, and I just can't help but love it for that. Overall, despite this movie's flaws, I give it a 9 out of 10. This may change in the future, since, the movie just came out, and I kind of need to rewatch it, but still, I absolutely love this movie, and I heavily recommend it. You may not like it, but, just go give it a watch. Okay, next time on a bootleg show, I guess. Alright, see ya. Hang on, I think Freddy Fazbear's out my door. Oh, fuck!